It's day 3 of Karen's Giving Thanks Karen week of celebrating cinema in the vein of turkey traditions. And today we're watching Thanksgiving. We're talking about Thanksgiving from the year 2023. And I keep feeling like there needs to be a word besides Thanksgiving, like Thanksgiving horror or the Thanksgiving fright or frightful thing. Like just calling it Thanksgiving feels a little too generic to me. What do you think of the title?
Yeah, I mean, I like it.
Okay.
I think it makes it interesting. I think it makes more people want to watch it because they don't know what it's about.
I was going to say that it could literally be about anything.
Yeah.
And you know what? Halloween isn't called Halloween horror. Mm-hmm. It's just called Halloween. And Mother's Day is just called Mother's Day.
But I don't think there's a movie called Christmas.
Is.
No, just Christmas. I don't think there's a movie called Christmas.
There's Silent Night, Deadly Night. There's a Christmas story, but there's no just Christmas. So let's make a movie just called Christmas.
Yeah.
And it'll be about like a lifeguard at the beach all July. And people will be like, what the heck? And it'll turn out at the end we find out his middle name is Christmas. This was directed by Eli Roth. Eli Roth, quite the prolific director, perhaps best known for The House with the Clock in Its Walls, starring your favorite actor, Jack Black.
Oh, I didn't know he directed that.
I think that's the biggest budget he ever had.
Oh, I guess.
I like the movie.
Didn't he do Hostel and some
Yeah,
of
but
his
I think
other
that was
stuff?
not a huge budget. That's why people liked it. Yeah. And he's done some Blumhouse stuff. This was Blumhouse, wasn't it?
Yeah, Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, it's great.
Like, he's got some really good
He didn't do Cabin in the Woods. He did Cabin Fever.
Okay. Yes, that's a good one too.
That is a fun one. Pancakes. We're going to have to cover that one just so I can do the pancake scene.
Did you do that green, whatever it is?
The Green Inferno, yes.
That one was crazy.
He is a little buddy of Quentin Tarantino, and they both like the pulpy grindhouse stuff.
Yeah.
He was in what was it called? The Bastards movie, Inglourious Basterds.
Yeah, he actually played in the movie,
He was
right?
Joubert.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was an actor in that. This was written by Jeff Rendell, who is a writing partner of Eli Roth, I believe. I think they've worked together before. Starring Patrick Dempsey and Addison Rae. This is one of the first movies that I saw where it was an influencer in a lead role. Did you recognize any other actors in this? Because this had a pretty good cast.
Yes, Milo Manheim.
Who, second generation actor. His mother, I think,
is Cameron Manheim.
More of a television actor, right?
Law and Order.
Yeah.
Boston Legal, I think she was in that, maybe.
I didn't watch the show, but I just know that she was pretty well known from television.
But he's a Disney kid, so he first came on the scene in Zombies.
Once again, the reason I know
Disney.
that's because Schuler told me that he knew from the Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Our friend who likes a lot of Disney stuff as an adult. Also, what's the name of that guy from Suits who played like the owner of the store?
I can't remember his name, but I feel like his name is like Jeremy something.
He's got one of those unforgettable faces.
Yes,
like he's
he
definitely
does.
got that
Kinda
lovable loser, only maybe not lovable, just loser.
Kind of like almost like a rat though. Like
it's.
I don't know how to make that face, but you know what I mean.
Every now and then,
when he smiles, he's like.
I see somebody who's successful, and I just wonder, like, did they really look in the mirror one day and say, this face belongs in Hollywood? Like,
I think it's because he has an unusual look, and people will remember that. So they're like, oh. But he's a good actor, too.
And he's a great actor, and he is easy to spot and, well known from Suits, I would imagine. He was a core member of that cast for multiple seasons, right?
I didn't recognize anybody else other than, obviously, Patrick Dempsey. Who was Addison Rae? What was she?
She's Instagram famous.
Oh, okay. I wouldn't know that.
I think maybe a singer, influencer, all that stuff online.
I'd recognize the name, but I don't think I'd know her. So.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure she's like one of those Instagram famous people. This movie was made for a budget of $15 million. Eli Roth is a marketable enough name. He's going to get a legit full-fledged budget, but $15 million is still a pretty conservative budget in Hollywood. Less than $30 million is for a studio release. This quasi-studio, I'm sure it had some studio backing with Eli Roth and the source of it all, Blumhouse. Pretty sure Blumhouse backed this.
Yeah.
Made a box office of 46.6 million, which is, 3 times your budget. Not a bad box office.
Not bad.
There was an announcement that Thanksgiving 2 would be coming out this Thanksgiving season, but guess what?
It didn't.
Got pushed back a year.
Oh, probably the strike, the writer's strike or something.
No, they blamed it on the fires that happened in Southern California.
Interesting.
Yeah, because, those fires hit pretty bad, about 10 months ago, about this time last year or something, so it pushed things back.
Might have been 2 years ago.
Yeah, but anyway, the fires, so now they're saying 2026 is when we should expect it. But
Yeah.
we'll just wait and see. They haven't shot a single frame of it yet, but we'll see what happens. So this is the part where I'm going to have to tell you that there's spoilers. Thanksgiving is a movie that you definitely need to watch. It's got a little bit of mystery to it, so that spoiler, if you get that spoilerage, it is going to affect your enjoyment of the movie. So I really, really, really recommend, if you haven't seen Thanksgiving yet and you like horror movies, watch Thanksgiving before you watch the rest of this video. However, as I always say, go forth and make your own decision, because if you don't learn to think for yourself, people will make your decisions for you your whole life. Or ignore me because I'm not your dad. I've got another good synopsis. I've been on a roll lately, so I want to see if I can keep this roll going. I'm just worried that this one might be too wordy, but this is a very complicated plot. A Black Friday deal on waffle irons leads to a massacre that creates a pilgrim-themed serial killer in Plymouth, Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's a little more detailed than it should be.
I just had to throw the waffle irons in there.
Yeah.
I love it that their doorbuster were waffle irons.
But it creates a serial killer like over the course of a year. It didn't happen at the same time.
Yeah. Now, this movie is based on a fake trailer from Grindhouse. And Grindhouse came out like 2010 or something. Like this was on the back burner for about 15 years, kind of a delayed spinoff. But in that time period, I feel like doorbusters have kind of become a thing of the past. I don't think that I hear about big lines and riots and stuff on, Thanksgiving night or Black Friday or anything like that anymore.
You don't hear about the riots and the people going crazy anymore, but it still happens. But people get the doorbuster sales before Black Friday. So there's a lot of Black Friday deals before Black Friday. So people are getting them ahead of time.
I think that the businesses realized that the property damage was not worth the profits.
Right.
And they've started to take measures. But there was a solid 5-6 year period where this was a legitimate worry. Like people were dying on Black Friday. And I feel like this movie was in development so long that this seemed like a reasonable way to start the conflict of the movie. But I feel like by the time it came out, that was just a bridge too far. You got to suspend a lot of disbelief to think that Black Friday now is still as violent as it once was.
Yeah, I think your synopsis might be just a little bit wrong. It wasn't a Black Friday deal. It actually happened on Thanksgiving.
Yes, but this, I think, was also a commentary. Remember when Black Friday started at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah, but they didn't call it Black Friday on Thanksgiving. It was just, we're going to be open on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Because we used to participate in that. Like when it first started back in probably the mid 2000s, we would go to these, like I think it was called Old Pottery Place, or some of these warehouses that sold like Christmas stuff, and you could get really good deals on Christmas things. So we would have our Thanksgiving dinner, and then all of a sudden we were like, oh, the family was there. Let's go shopping at 6 o'clock on a Thanksgiving night instead of going to the movies like we used to. And
I'm a traditionalist. I say it's kind of like the Jewish Sabbath. Black Friday starts at sundown on Thanksgiving and lasts until sundown on the Friday after.
Because it used to be Black Friday used to be 4 a.m. or 2 a.m. Then they started pushing it back to midnight. And then
it was 6 p.m. And then it was just all day Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And, once against all odds, consumers did the right thing and kind of pushed back and said, you know what, we don't want to feel like we have to go shop when we should be spending time with our family. But when you have these deal busters, you force those of us that are less economically privileged into making a decision. And
it wasn't
made it
just
more
that.
calm.
It's the idea that people should be at home with their families on Thanksgiving, not just people that are consumers, but the employees too.
Well, absolutely. Yeah. But and the bigger problem is that it did seem to target the economically disadvantaged. Is that the right word? The people who have less money at their disposal were the ones most hurt by Black Friday being on
That
Thanksgiving.
were like the ones that were working. Yeah.
And, with the introduction of Cyber Monday, you don't have to worry about getting trampled. And, Black Friday sales are starting November 1st and stuff like that. And also the price of, the big doorbusters were always televisions, and just the price on consumer electronics has come down so far. And the way that most people under 40 consume their entertainment doesn't depend on a big screen TV like it once did.
Yeah.
But the waffle irons, I like it that Eli Roth picked something really low value to die over.
Right.
And people dying over and they don't just die, they die painfully.
Like die.
Oh,
yeah.
boy, that opening scene is what made me know I was going to love this movie. Now, how did you first discover this movie? Was it just because I made you watch it for this?
I'm pretty sure we used to go to the movies quite a bit.
Yeah.
And we saw it in a preview and we're like, oh, that looks good. Like, I think we want to go see that. So I'm pretty sure we saw it early enough, like a month ahead of time, and we said we were going to go see it. And we probably did go see it on Thanksgiving Day.
I thought that I had to go see this one by myself.
No, I saw it in the movie theater.
Well, then you and I saw it together.
Yeah.
I watched this in the movie theater.
I'm pretty sure we took the kids too, because that was something that they wanted to do.
And I followed it up with Silent Knife, Deadly Knife on Shudder as like a little double feature at home. So it was nice. I watched Thanksgiving in the theater. Did you ever watch Grindhouse? Are you familiar with the fake trailers from Grindhouse? That's where Machete came from, Hobo with the shotgun.
I probably saw the fake trailers, but didn't know what they were. But I think the only thing I've ever really seen from Grindhouse was that the girls with the machine guns for their legs and stuff. They got their legs cut off and then they got it replaced. Like, wasn't that a Quentin Tarantino type thing?
Yeah, I think that's Planet Terror, and the other one's Death Proof.
Yeah,
the one with Kurt
but I
Russell's
think it was specifically like Grindhouse or something, wasn't it? Where their arms and like legs were like they were walking around on these like machine guns, and then they'd lift up their leg and start shooting people with
Grindhouse is the name of the double feature. It's made up of two movies. One of them is Planet Terror, and the other one is Death Proof. The one you're describing, I think, is Planet Terror.
Okay.
But I'm going to give full disclosure. I have tried to make it through Grindhouse, and I can't even make it through the first movie, much less the second one. I don't enjoy that movie. But the nice thing is you can just skip to the trailers and watch the fake trailers, and those are funny. I never got around to seeing Machete.
I haven't either.
I never got around to seeing Hobo with the shotgun, but I saw Thanksgiving first chance I got. This is the one that spoke to me out of that.
Does Machete have that Hispanic guy in
Danny
it?
Trejo.
Yes. Yeah, I think I have seen that one actually. Then just the preview, right? It's supposed to be like a fake movie trailer.
The fake movie trailer for Machete, and then they made a real movie, and it had what's her name from the remake of Parent Trap, Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah, I think the one I saw was the one with Danny Trejo in it.
It's her and Lindsay Lohan. Him and her, Danny Trejo and Lindsay Lohan.
I think I have seen the trailer, is what I'm saying. Not the movie.
Did you find many laughs in this movie?
Yes.
I think that's part of what makes it work is the laughter. And Eli Roth, I don't like it when he does something like Hostel. I don't really like Green Inferno when he just gives us what people came to refer to.
Gory.
He's kind of the father of modern torture porn, in my opinion.
Yeah.
However, when he starts peppered in humor and he plays to other types of movies that he's liked instead of just the gory stuff, I think that's when he shines brightest, because this is maybe my favorite movie of his, and I think the laughs are a big part.
Yeah.
Which laughs do you remember? Like, what stuff was to me, the ending has a whole lot of hilarity to it. Like the lady who gets turned into a giant turkey. I think that's pretty ridiculous and funny.
It's just kind of gross.
And I think that element was in the fake trailer.
I think it's the way that some people died. I don't know. Some of it's like super gory, but then just the ridiculousness of them dying, I think, was it. And then
over the top.
Around the table, when they're sitting around the table, and then he took, like the one lady that got cut in half and then threw her legs over the side of the fake like Walmart building, and then placed her body at the table, the top half of her body.
And there was that cheerleader. How long had the cheerleader been dead? And then he puts a spout in her carotid, and she still has blood pressure to push it out. Whereas, dead people don't have blood pressure. So it's extremely gory, but it's so cartoonish, and it never feels real for a minute. And I think because of that, it's pretty tolerable. What do you think of the depictions of the Plymouth locals? They make them seem like some real rough customers up in Plymouth, Mass.
Dude, they all have different accents too. There's some that have like really thick Boston accents and then really thick Massachusetts accents, and then people that just don't have an accent at all. It's really weird. And I feel like Patrick Dempsey like goes in and out of his accent all the time.
I really like the real dirtbag guys and their dirtbag accent. It reminds me of that show. I can't remember what it was called, but it had the guy who played Mayhem from those insurance commercials. And there's like a kid on it that takes his daughter and they just like run away from home and go to Georgia or something.
Yeah.
But they have all the dirtbag Bostonians, you know, with that real rough accent, the Southeast.
Yeah, they made the kids from Hanover. From Hanover School or something like that. They sounded like a bunch of idiots, I guess, or like you said, like the
and I like the guy who was
Boston.
the Black Sabbath fan who was trying to sell guns to kids at school and stuff like that. He really had a real good dirtbag accent. He had like a brother or something, and they were a couple of my favorites. There was like a waitress in the diner who's like, "You want your eggs? You get over here, you get your eggs. Shut up, let the man sit down and get his eggs."
Yeah, that lady was pretty rough too. But I feel like especially the students, he just sounded like a meathead. The one that worked in the gym. I guess he was a football player too, but he was when he got killed, he was called out from the gym.
How do you feel about Patrick Dempsey? He was a big star in the 80s, kind of disappeared, then Grey's Anatomy breathed new life into him, and he's having a real third act here.
It was strange, I thought, because...
turning him into a little bit of a zaddy here.
Yeah, because he wasn't like... I don't know. You know how he's more of like a hot guy in the shows and like the romantic person, but he wasn't like that in this, and it was just strange to see him in this role.
To me, he's still the nerdy kid who couldn't get a date and can't buy me love. Like, I don't think of him as hot at all because I remember him from back that long ago.
Oh, I thought he was really cute when he was a teenager, when he was like trying to date all those women, when he was dating all those women. You remember that? Was that the movie?
That was the pizza delivery boy movie.
I love that movie.
If you ordered extra anchovies and you got a sex worker in the way of a high...
but it was him.
It's the best movie about a group of middle-aged women essaying a high school kid I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Serial essay on a high school kid for the money.
But then also like when in Grey's Anatomy, I mean, he's like this good-looking older doctor, but then in this, I don't know if they were trying to make him... He wasn't very stupid, but I don't know if they were trying to compare him to like Dewey from Scream or something.
No,
you know what I mean?
He's way more capable and competent than Dewey ever was.
Yeah.
I think that they're maybe comparing him more to like a stereotype sheriff from a non-horror movie. Yeah. I think they're kind of basing him on like...
Definitely wasn't eye candy.
He's like the local sheriff in the Hallmark movie that the big city woman who comes home for Thanksgiving falls in love with. Like, I kind of felt like that was the character archetype they were giving us to put us off the track a little bit on his true nature, I would say. Mm-hmm. Now, are there any parts at all of this movie that it couldn't take place at any time other than Thanksgiving? You know, this is all about a Thanksgiving-themed murderer. So did any of the Thanksgiving plot lines tug at your heartstrings? Were there any moments of warmth in this?
I think the one where she was remembering her mom. Did we ever find out what her mom had passed away from?
I can't recall.
But she would open up her locket and have a picture of her with her mom in it when she was a baby. And I mean, those were kind of like...
I think the relationship between the guy and his sister was kind of touching because you don't see a lot of adult siblings who are that close.
Yeah.
And you know, it's nice because the killer has sort of a sympathetic origin story. Mm-hmm. And it all comes back to his relationship with his sister. So I kind of like that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a pretty good segue. This does have a bit of a mystery component. I think it was heavily influenced by Scream. I think that's one of the more influential movies the last 30 years for horror. And Scream, of course, is a mystery movie. Mm-hmm. And it's not enough just to be a slasher. You know, these modern slashers, part of the fun is figuring out who's behind the mask. And Scream took that Scooby-Doo. I mean, I'm just going to call it what it is. It's the Scooby-Doo unmasking. And they took that and brought it to the world of slashers, and it's there forever. So
but it also made me question, like in this movie with like the mask of the, you know, it made me think that there might be two people. You know what I mean? So just kind of like with Scream, the way it became that, and then now you're thinking, oh, well, there could be two people at the same time.
With the knowledge that there is going to be a sequel, I think that's going to be the reveal is that Patrick Dempsey didn't work alone, and when they finally reveal who he was working with, we'll be shocked.
I think I know who it's going to be. I think it's going to be that kid that I thought was doing it all along, that
The
Milo Manheim kid.
oh,
Yeah,
I was thinking it
the
might be.
weird kid. That was the one that I think that plot line kind of bothered me. That in the end, he still got the girl, and her former boyfriend didn't. You know what I mean?
I think what I would like to see happen is kind of like the Saw thing, where Addison Rae survived it all, but then her near-death experience taught her the real value of life, so she's decided to take up the mantle of the Carver.
No, I don't think it's gonna be that. I think it'll either be her boyfriend Bobby or her ex-boyfriend Bobby or the new guy.
Or it might be
Yeah.
some like minor character who survived the first movie
Yeah.
and they just think that's not who we'll suspect. So I might have to go watch it and just keep track of who survived.
Yeah. Well, I really thought that at the end when she like had that dream sequence and then she woke up and he was still there, like he was in the bed with her. I was like, oh, dude, it's gonna come out that it was him or something. I really think they left it so that it's gonna be Milo for sure.
Were you surprised by the identity of the killer in this movie?
I actually was at first. It didn't occur to me that it would be someone like in law enforcement. You know?
I think that was a nice touch.
Yeah.
And I think maybe there wasn't a whole lot of foreshadowing, but there's something that I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
When the movie opens up, it's kind of doing like a Halloween thing where you're going through the eyes of someone approaching the house and it's shot in a way to be scary. So you think this is the killer coming up to the house. When they open the door, it's Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah.
So they were showing us the killer POV shot and then revealed that that was Patrick Dempsey's POV at the very beginning of the movie.
Yeah, I
and then
can
at
see
the
that.
end, he's revealed to be the killer. That's something I didn't even notice till watching it for this review here, even though I've seen the movie a couple times. That was kind of a nice pickup this time around. And then also the scene where he's dressed as a clown at the parade. He really seems to have some tactical training. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's really good at taking out a whole crew of people all by himself and using the flashbang grenades and the tear gas grenades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that might be a little hint that somebody has either, law enforcement or military experience or
Yeah.
something.
Definitely shooting the darts and getting people like on the first try. you
And
know?
that really reminded me a lot of Heath Ledger's interpretation of Joker when he's robbing the bank and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, when he has that mask on.
Yep, at the beginning of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you have any thoughts about the idea of a sequel? I mean, we talked a little bit about maybe it's coming out next year. Do you think that's a good thing, a bad thing? Are you excited for a sequel? Are you a little disappointed by it?
I don't know. I mean, I think they don't need a sequel unless they go back and just decide to get people that they didn't catch the first time around, like the girl's dad who ran the store.
Yeah, it made $30 million above its budget.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that that's going to be why they make a sequel. But Eli Roth is going to be involved from all accounts. So I think that it should be a pretty good sequel.
Yeah.
And I'll definitely check it out. I'm excited about it. I think that we're lacking in that kind of 90s style slasher that's a real crowd pleaser. And this seemed like it would be an entree to bringing a lot of that back, along with the Scream reboots. But I don't know. I haven't felt a whole lot of like copycat lookalike stuff coming out. In fact, I think it's still at a little bit of a low point for horror, even though we had a pretty good fall this year. We didn't make it out to see any of these new horror movies, but none of them have that just nice, clean Thanksgiving Scream kind of feel to it.
Yeah.
Like I'd like. Or even Jeepers Creepers kind of had that. Or no, it was Final Destination really had the Scream influence that showed through.
Yeah.
So as we like to ask with all our Thanksgiving movies, I'm going to ask you a tricky question. How's the food in this Thanksgiving movie?
I think in the beginning, when they're all around the table and they're getting ready to serve, the food, and then the guy has to leave to go to work.
Yeah.
I mean, some of those scenes where you have the traditional, food, they work really well. I think the funniest one though is when he has everyone seated around the Thanksgiving table, and then he serves the
That food's
wife
disgusting.
as like, I know, but it's very like
forces-
traditional, like the the girl, he puts her in the actual like position with her
Yeah.
legs and her legs
It's
crossed and
so
tied together,
ridiculous.
no head,
Yeah.
and her arms down, so she looks like that.
Forces the
turkey on a
husband to
plate.
eat part of her, and he starts puking while his mouth is gagged.
I don't think they don't think he makes them eat it.
I thought he shoved it in the, or maybe the husband just started puking.
He started puking when he
Okay.
saw who it was on the table. That was a funny
you know,
part.
poking
yeah.
the spout in the girl's carotid or jugular, and she has
Mm-hmm.
pressure to put in the wine glass.
Yeah, it has all the traditional foods.
To
and
me,
just
that's
serving
disgusting.
people as the turkey.
I don't want to think about this movie when I'm eating. I'm going to tell you that as good as whatever the food might be in the beginning, that Thanksgiving dinner of note at the end of the movie is enough for me to say the food in this movie is disgusting because
Yeah.
it's like entirely human based.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite kill? You know, this is something that's a holdover from Halloween instead of doing our typical Thanksgiving thing. I'm curious if you had a favorite kill because I know exactly what my favorite kill is.
There was a lot of good kills in this one. I think the one that really stuck with me the most was the diner lady.
Yeah.
When she's running and she tries to jump into the dumpster, and as soon as she jumps up and the car catches her in the right spot and it slices her right in half and she falls in and then her legs are just like dangling. I think I rewound that one several times because I wanted to see how they did that, because they actually catch her jumping
Yeah.
and just bam, just slice her right in half. I mean, if it's like CGI, or they did a really great job with that
I
one.
love the way her guts just fall out. The way,
Yes.
like, a dumpster doesn't perfectly bisect a human body like that. It's so ridiculous. but I
Yeah, with the
loved
lid
everything about it.
shut and it's like the lid sliced her in half.
But that is indeed my favorite kill of the
I
whole
think
thing,
so,
too. So I'm
too.
agreeing with you on that.
And
I
it's
love
like
it.
one of the first ones. I mean, the ones at the beginning are shocking because you're like, okay, that could really happen. Except the guy that picked up the waffle iron and his neck had been slit. Where did that happen? Did we ever see how that happened? I know that he picked up the box and he starts to stumble
I
a little
thought-
bit and he holds it up over his head, but his like throat is
I
slashed.
thought, like, glass had got him when they caused that door to crack.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't know, because when they pushed through the door landed on that other guy and crushed him.
The only thing I can really remember from that riot, having seen this movie at least 3 times, is the lady getting her hair and
Oh,
scalp ripped
she's a
off.
famous person too. Gina
I know.
Gershon.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
made a few horror movies, I think, over the
Dude,
years, too.
that was probably one of my other
was
favorite
so
kills,
gross, though. I
she's
loved
just
it.
laying there and she's just like, "Ah," and then the little piece of skin that like rips off with her hair,
Looks-
and that's like, it seems like that's
Practical
the part
effects.
that like killed her.
Yeah, and it looks like total practical
She kind of got
effects.
scalped by a shopping
That'd be
cart.
a lot of fun to do as a makeup artist or an
Right.
effects artist. So I really like that kill too.
Yeah.
But that's the main thing I remember. I don't remember a lot of the other details from
Yeah.
the initial riot.
I'm hoping she just had internal bleeding from getting smashed by the shopping cart, and then that other part was just like, that's not what killed her, was the scalping,
Yeah.
the part where she got hit by the shopping
It
cart.
was a
dude.
great effect though, and
It
it looked pretty
was.
realistic
Yeah,
too.
it did.
You ever scalped anybody?
No.
I have. No follow-up questions.
Ew.
Did you see best character? Did you have a favorite character from this? This is a bit of an ensemble cast, so there's a lot to choose from.
I think, oh gosh, a favorite character? I don't know. I think I just like the ones where I recognize who the person is. So like, I wouldn't say he was my favorite, but I like the guy from Suits because he just plays the butthole,
Yeah.
store owner that just wants, money. And then I liked Milo Manheim's character, even though I feel like he was more misunderstood. I really
Yeah.
thought he was kind of like, he's chasing after the girl. She doesn't want anything to do with him. Then he starts dating her, and then you think that he's going to be the killer. Like the whole time, I thought he was going to be the killer.
Yeah.
But really, he was just trying to just get in with that popular group. He was trying to buy their like affection, and
Got them all tickets to see the Patriots.
yeah, like
50-yard line, rich
or
kid.
something like that. Yeah, so he was just doing all these extra things, but I don't know if there was like, I don't think I had a character that really like stood out to me.
I think my personal favorite is the dirtbag that drove the tow truck and sold guns to high school
No.
kids. Talking about Black Sabbath, he really
Yeah.
got me when he's telling the story about, and then Ozzy Osbourne quits and they don't know what to do. And then in comes Ronnie James Dio at 5'0", weighing 100 and nothing, and he can well. And then the kid looks up and says, "Who's Black Sabbath?" And
Yeah.
he's like, "Get the fuck out of my party."
Yeah.
I like the wearing the Pawtucket Pete pirate hat there at the football game, and has the blunderbuss to shoot off. It was great. And that blunderbuss was a nice Chekhov's gun too, but he's my favorite. Do you see any themes here beyond Thanksgiving?
I'm thinking maybe something about corporate greed.
Yeah, I think.
And then also in consumerism, but then also family. Like family is everything.
I think if I were going to really just try to distill it down, it's a age-old tale, but basically people over money.
Yeah.
I think that's what it boils down to, and how if you put money before people, you will lose all the people you care about.
Yeah.
And that they literally lose them here because of the Black Friday death, and the guy's whole family gets murdered, and he was the one who opened the store to make money.
Yeah.
So if you put money before people, you lose all the people.
Yeah.
Thankfully, in real life, they usually don't get murdered. They just leave you for being a miserable old SOB. But in the movie, they had to kill him.
Yeah. But then they didn't, like, he didn't change, though, really, Like, so
that might be why we have to have a sequel.
Well, he
next day,
he may
though,
have changed after that, but like
remember?
within that year, he still opened the store on Thanksgiving.
But he didn't have any sales or something.
Yeah, I mean, he I don't know if he learned, and that's why that guy started killing people, because none of those people learned their lesson the first time around. And I think it was kind of like a revenge thing too, because he went after the people that were responsible, like the one lady who was the diner lady.
I'm going to
how
workshop a
awful she
sequel
was.
idea to you. The sequel takes place 2-3 years later. The guy learned his lesson, quit having Black Friday sales and deals. Then a new guy moves into Plymouth and opens a rival store, and he's open on Black Friday. So this guy doesn't know what to do because he was so traumatized. So he ends up becoming the Carver, the guy from Suits, and he kills all the people who work at the rival store.
Oh, my Lord.
That's my pitch.
Yeah.
Eli Roth. It's laundryroombruce@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. We can collaborate. You don't even have to pay me more than $200,000-$300,000.
Yeah.
All right. So your thanks grade, just like the kind of grades we got in school, A through F. What kind of Thanksgiving grade do you give this movie based on its Thanksgiving spirit, not film quality?
I think Thanksgiving spirit and the relevance, I give it an A.
I'm with you because I was surprised because I keep thinking this movie's kind of a parody of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's just the backdrop. I think that it's going to be like Thanksgiving, but it's actually a legitimate real movie, and it actually says a lot about modern Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's not about traditional Thanksgiving, but making your statement about spending more time with family and less time being greedy is probably what the Thanksgiving spirit's all about. So, yeah, I'm with you. I give it an A also.
Yeah.
But what really matters, and I'm kind of curious what you say, because I think I like this movie more than I really should.
Yeah,
I've got some kind of like extra special relationship because I like the style of filmmaking, and I kind of like Eli Roth when I've seen him interviewed. He's an NYU Tisch film school guy, not a USC guy. So I like the East Coast twist every now and then. Anyway, what is your turkey leg score?
As in, would I recommend this to someone?
Yeah, it's like how many stars only you're giving it turkey legs?
I'm probably going to give it a 5. I like 5 turkey legs.
I'm
I
with you.
really think other than the horror, a lot of people like that genre, but I think it has a lot to say about consumerism and corporate greed, and I think people need to watch it, because then maybe they'll change their mind about going to go shopping and do all those extra things.
And there aren't a lot of Thanksgiving movies. That's something we're finding out here. But as far as for the Thanksgiving movies that do exist, Thanksgiving is one of my 2 favorites. I don't know if it's number 1 or number 2. We'll figure that out by the time we wrap this week up. But it's one of my 2 favorite Thanksgiving movies. So I give it 5 turkey legs also, and a free ticket to the Ren Fair to buy those turkey legs. That's how much I like it. All right, I think we're doing good. We're getting the ball rolling. We are almost halfway through Thanksgiving week, and we're going strong. And I think we finally got a movie we both like.
Yeah.
We had a movie we both were kind of lukewarm on, one that you like better than me, but now we got one that is universal. So if for some reason you ignored me when I tried to spoil warn you and you still watch this and you're still watching now, 2 recommends for me and her. If you haven't seen this yet, you're probably going to like it. Go watch it. And don't forget what you're thankful for. Don't forget about what you're thankful that you don't have to deal with. Make art, consume art, do what you love what you do, and always be thankful for movies.